college, I used to love coming to the farmer's market, and I would always stop in. It was actually with my parents, was the first time that I stopped and went to the bakery. And there was a girl working behind the counter that was really nice, and it was just the good customer service that kept having me come back, plus the really good crepes. Yeah.
Well, we met in Germany, and I was working at the front desk in a hotel, and Steve was over there for training.
When we married, I already had 2 children with me from my previous marriage. So she was more or less a stay-at-home mother to my children that we already had, and we pretty quickly started having our own family.
We have a daughter with Down syndrome, and when she was done with high school, she went to a job readiness training at a local community college. That lasted for about 2 years, and after that we were on a job search for her, and nothing really came forward that we liked and could agree to.
We had Mariel first, who's the founder of the bakery, I guess you'd say.
And the idea came, well, why don't we do our own thing? And so we started, and we have always come here as customers. Everybody knew Mariel, all the vendors knew her. We were very familiar with everything, so this was a logical place to start. I've been making bread for a long time, and we talked to the market manager, and she really liked the idea. So
that was the start, was just this idea to bake a little bit of bread, and from there it just took off. I tell everybody it just sort of got out of control.
And then in spring, these shops became available. There were 2 shops, and they were right adjacent to each other, and there was enough space to put a bakery in. And Steve went ahead. It took about a half a year to renovate everything. So he renovated, took everything out, built everything new, everything from scratch, and we sourced equipment in that time. And then finally, I think we started in spring, and finally in August we moved in and we opened up.
When we first came down there, we had been making bread at home, and at home we had these 5 ovens in the basement, and the heat was just boiling up the steps. And we had the bread all staged in the hallway, right there at the top of the steps. So there was never a question that the bread was going to rise. It was warm, and it was, would rise quick. We came down here and we started, in late summer, and the first week the bread doesn't come up. The bread won't rise, and we finally realized it's cool in here. The air conditioner's keeping the place cool. See, the bread's about a 9-hour throughput. We mix it at 10 o'clock, and it doesn't go on the table until 3, and then there's another hour or so, probably an hour and a half before it's proofed, and then you got to bake it, and then it's got to cool down, and altogether it's about 9 hours.
We have a contract with the market to be open every day, 5 days a week, and we were not sure if we would be selling bread and pastries 5 days a week, having sold previously only on Saturdays. So we said we would do crepes and would be open with the crepes.
You get them really hot, then they cook up really fast. Yeah. So,
Janice!
For the savory ones, I'd say either the bacon, egg, and cheese or the Mediterranean. So, and then for the sweet ones, banana Nutella is definitely popular.
This one runs for 5 minutes on low speed, then it's going to switch over and run for 14 minutes on high speed. And when the dough comes out of this one, it's going to be warm. Which generally you don't want a dough that you just mix to be warm, because it starts immediately to rise. But this is rolls, and rolls are different. This is called a gluten window, and this is the test to see if your dough is fully developed. You see how this is pulling out so really thin? You just keep pulling it in different directions until you can see light pretty good through it. You can almost see you through it. So, and this dough is what would be called fully developed. Most of the bread that we make, the dough goes into one of these big plastic tubs and it hangs around for 4 or 5 hours before you can use it. And this gives it a chance to develop all the things that dough is supposed to have. If you don't get it right away, or if you have 3 or 4 of them that you have to do, you put it in this machine over here and roll it. And if you don't do it pretty quick, by the time you get to the last one, you have to reset all the machine settings because the dough is already expanded to the point where it's not the same. I think I didn't realize the strain it is to be a baker and the hours, because even on a day where you think you don't have a lot to do, well, you have production tomorrow, so you have to come in and refresh your sourdough, because the sourdough doesn't just pop out of the refrigerator ready to go. You have to feed it and put it in the right temperature and put it in the right amount of water. So it's an ongoing thing. For us, you have to leave the house, come down. So it's a lot of hours, a lot of long hours. For a while, I was working on a weekend. I was coming in at 4 o'clock Friday morning and working through until Saturday afternoon. It's about 36 hours, and this is just too long.
We have done the bakery for 7 years now. The cheese shop became available 2 years ago, and there have previously been several businesses in that spot not very successful, and we felt that we could do better. And so we applied and we got the spot, and we wanted to go and address local grocery, which there's nothing downtown. So between the cheese shop and the bakery, there's quite a bit of grocery going around, and it complements each other.
Pastries rearranging the schedule now as we speak, and because of the weather. Because of the weather, so we'll knock down the bread. You see, by the time the weather started, the bread's already mixed. You might as well make it anyway. It's you know, you can't get anything back. It's already mixed up. The pastries, on the other hand, we can, like these ones here, if we wanted to do less of them, we just don't pull them out of the refrigerator, and then we can use them someplace else. We made 480 pieces of Danish. About 80 of them would be used during a week. We make 80% of everything we make during the week in 4 hours on Saturday morning. Between 8 and 12 Saturday morning, we make the whole week. So, and we do 3 other markets besides this one, and they're all, you know, it's all Saturday morning also.
We look at the weather to see, you know, how it's going to be. What we did sales according to last year, you know, depending on how much you're going to make, and if there's any events going on in Lynchburg that other people would be going to or coming here.
Usually the regular people, they always come.
Yeah, we always have our strong base of regulars.
Yeah. We come down here every Saturday for years. We've been coming down here for probably 4 years. Well, we get our fresh produce outside, and then it was raining one week, and we came in, saw it, they looked beautiful. So then we decided this is sort of our date. We come every Saturday morning, we bring our own coffee, and then we get a pastry, and we'll get bread to bring home. And we just have, you know, we meet a friend sometimes, and we get our produce and we go home.
I started coming to the bakery when I was in college. I heard about it from some friends and just honestly fell in love with it right away. When I was a little kid, I grew up as a military kid, and we lived in Germany for a little bit, and each week there was this bread truck that would come by, and a lot of the breads that the bakery serves are honestly just like those breads that I had as a kid. So there's definitely an aspect of a familiar memory that comes back whenever I come here, and since it's only open every now and then, it makes me excited for Saturdays when I'm able to just get up and come and have that little taste of my childhood again. So that's why I love the bakery, and that's what keeps me coming back.
The bakery is named Lorraine Bakery, and Lorraine is my daughter's middle name. The bakery is actually created for her to have a place to work, and we thought it was appropriate that some of her was in the name, and just coincidentally, it sounds nice in French.